Good morning everyone, and what is a beautiful sunny day. Thought I would do a few thoughts from the Anzac Day matches. Won't be able to do a stream actually on Sunday. I've just got a few things going on, a couple of wedding events and whatnot, so thought I'd just do a quick little wrap-up video, at least for the Anzac Day matches. But yeah, obviously pretty exciting day. There were lots of points scored. Warriors losing to Titans in the end. I'm a bit surprised just with their defense recently. They exact same thing happened against the Dragons. First 10-15 minutes they look amazing. Everyone's thinking, yep, this is our top four Warriors, and then they just go and kind of, they don't get all the possession, and then they just start conceding points and things. And yeah, a bit of a concern, I guess, for people who are thinking the Warriors going to be maybe a top four contender. But to be fair, for all the Supercoach relevant players, they all got their points anyway. SJ got 3 tries in the end, 92. CNK scored a try from fullback, which the Titans have a very big habit of conceding tries to opposition fullbacks. So CNK ended up on 90 points, so you'll be pretty happy with that. AFB obviously was a big one, scored a double. So he ended up scoring 130 points, 125 points, something huge. So he'll be a big target, I think, for people who are probably getting sick and tired of a Terrell May. So I think, yeah, probably from the Warriors, I guess you had RTS only 57. Yeah, look, he's probably not a keeper. And, if you were looking to move, I'll probably give him one more week against the Knights, just because they look a little bit weaker. But yeah, I think he'll be probably one that will eventually want to upgrade. I can see a lot of people maybe next week doing RTS to, say, Val Holmes, I reckon. Just to get Val Holmes for that Dolphins matchup, and he should lose some money this week against Penrith if he doesn't hit his break even. So that'll be one to monitor. But I think SJ obviously performed like you would have hoped for. AFB will be a big target. CNK kind of delivered. He had another 55 points in base, like 45 in runs. Just keeps getting it done, which is pretty crazy. On the Titans, Dave Fifita, my goodness, he is just not going to go below 780k by the look of it. When he scored 121 points, just looked terrific off the bench. I know, I myself said I'd rather him playing 80 minutes, but this role is working for him. Comes off the bench, plays 60-ish minutes, and just goes full throttle when he comes off the bench, and looked unbelievable. He's just looking to offload so much. We already knew he'd tackle bust a bunch. We know he gets attacking stats. He got a try assist yesterday, so the only downside with Fifita is during Origin, he's going to miss a fair few number of games. He'll miss round 13, and then I believe he also misses round 16, 17, and 19. So it's going to be tough to own through that little period. But if you're, say, like head-to-head, don't really care about buys as much, he looks a terrific purchase still, just the way that he's going. The draw is a little bit tougher for the Titans, but quite frankly, I don't think it matters who Fifita runs up against. He's generally going to get his points. Tanner Boyd played pretty well. AJ Brimson back at fullback as well. I think he's got to be the fullback for them. The Titans just look so much better when he plays there. He had scored well, 95 points. I think he scored about 67 last week. So, he's going to be around early 600k. So if anyone's looking around that price target, he's maybe an option to consider. One in the front row forward is Jamin Jolliffe, who, a few weeks ago people were pointing out that when he plays big minutes, he does generally get big scores. It's continuing that trend. He scored 70 points yesterday, all in work rate, no attacking stats, I believe, in that 70 points. He's going to be around 600k though, because he's 573 and he had a break even, I think, in the 30s. So he's probably going to get up to about 600k. So I think people next week who are again looking at Terrell May potentially maybe out because Terrell May's minutes are being all messed around. He only scored 24 points yesterday. Terrell May's probably going to be down to about 500k. Maybe you go 100k up to Jamin Jolliffe, and that can maybe solidify your front row forward. So Jolliffe is someone to consider. He's obviously now a little bit more expensive, but he is showing that he can be maybe a very solid, consistent option, and he would be season long because Tino's out for the rest of the season, so I don't really see his role really changing that much. I don't think he'll play Origin, so he might be good cover as well in that little period. So yeah, definitely want to consider, I think, in your FRF. That's kind of my general thoughts on the Warriors versus Titans. I'm looking at the Warriors a little bit more until they can show a little bit of a turnaround. Maybe not looking at them as strong of an opponent from an attacking point of view. Their attack's good. The defense, though, is probably not looking as good as it was. Titans are improving, but look, they're still considered 24 points. So look, I still think you can perfectly target the Titans, especially the fullbacks. They seem to be conceding so many tries to them. So Mr. Ryan Papenhuyzen, if you want to step up next week, that'd be awesome. Thank you very much. Might just even quickly jump to that Storm Rabbitohs game. So like 54 points again. Storm put on heaps of points. Rabbitohs is still very, very leaky. Nothing seems to have changed there in terms of their defense coming off the bye. Cam Munster obviously a huge score. I think he got 142 points. Was involved in everything. Scored a try of his own. I think he had 4 try assists. A lot of them off kicks as well. So didn't really get a lot of line break assists. So just a huge game from him. People may be looking at him with Dylan Brown will be on the bye actually next week. So maybe if people are tempted to make that switch, if Dill Bags doesn't go so well, I can see many people trading to Cam Munster next week. I'm not sure if I'll do it myself, just because I feel like next week I'm going to have bigger issues to deal with, getting rid of some cheapies and maybe trying to solve for Terrell May if he is going to be an ongoing issue. I'm very happy though with my Storm contingent. So Harry Grant, 91 points. Finally, we got some attacking stats from the great man. Got a line break try, got a try assist as well. Hopefully we just see more of this versus the Titans next week. So hoping for some good things. But yeah, 91 points. Very happy with that. Pappy with 84, I think he's on currently. Got a double. First try didn't have a line break, but the second did have a line break with some tackle busts. So yeah, thought he looked good again. I think he's still not 100%. I think in the swing of things, like that pass to Warbrick, that Warbrick dropped. The ball was a little bit behind him. I think Pappy at his peak would have just nailed that pass, and we're probably looking at another line break assist, try assist, and we're probably getting to a ton. So I think he just feels like he's just not quite at that, constant threat of going 95, 100 plus, but he's kind of looking to be maybe around that. Good to get 70 to 80 points each week, which I'm good with at his price. But obviously in the world of fullbacks, you probably want these guys who are going to get the huge 100 pluses. But yeah, it can still be a very tempting option, I think. But yeah, otherwise, pretty happy with Pappy myself. And Eli Katoa, 72 points, looked damaging. Got a line break, which is obviously I'm very happy with. A few tackle busts, always looks a threat. So yeah, pretty happy with Eli Katoa. And of course, Storm are going to be very popular next week, coming up against the Titans. Apart from that, I guess Jerome Hughes had another good week. If anyone is holding on to Jerome Hughes, that's probably it, I guess, out of the Storm at least. On the Rabbitoh side of things, do we have Jacob Gagai back? Do we have a cheapie downgrade? Could he be the saviour next week for our, James Schiller, Ethan Strange downgrades? So Taane Milne, very, very end of the game, bit of a dodgy act there on Munster's legs. So look, honestly, this is not even a Supercoach opinion. I don't know why he's in the Rabbitohs team. He's just defensively quite poor in my opinion. Doesn't offer a whole heap. I mean, he did score a pretty good try where he muscled off Tyron Wishart, but yeah, hopefully he gets suspended or he's just out of the Rabbitohs team, because I think we all need Jacob Gagai as a downgrade because he scored a double. And look, Rabbitohs at least in attack. Cody Walker had a few good moments. Gagai was playing on the left as well, which is obviously generally Rabbitohs' more favoured side. Jai Gray still looks pretty good as well. He's only available at 5'8", but maybe a downgrade to consider as well for people next week if they're maybe moving on to Dill Bags, because he will have a bye next week, Dylan Brown. But apart from that, from the Rabbitohs, there was some encouraging signs, but again, defensively still very poor. I think still a team that we must target from an attacking point of view. And then the Dragons-Roosters game, so obviously as a Roosters fan, very happy with that win. I was not expecting 60 points to 18 though, because Anzac Day games are generally quite tight, but very happy with the Chooks' performance. The Dragons started very good, but they kind of got in their own way a little bit. So like Lomax, for example, tried that flick pass. The flick pass worked earlier in the game. Didn't work when he was coming out of his own end though. And Angus Crichton was able to score a try off the back of that. How good was Angus though? 103 points, what a man. Last week was a bit of a quieter game with 52, but look, he's still, I think I looked at his numbers, he still did a base power last game of like 55 plus. So work rate is still there, but we know we can get the attacking stats, which he got yesterday. So got a line break, got a try assist as well for Teddy. So yeah, really happy with Angus and his score from yesterday. A lot of the Roosters obviously scored very well. Sam Walker was a huge one, 145 points. Shout out to the few people who I've seen on social media who left him on their non-playing reserves. That's got to hurt. 145 points, but you can't win them all. You'll be at least happy with you've got him in your team and he'll make some money. But yeah, Joey Manu looked really good, scored a double, 81 points I think, or 84. Teddy pretty solid as well, 80. Nat Butcher 100. Lots of good scores. Apologies, one of these guys is revving their motorbike in case you guys can't hear me okay. But yeah, obviously from the Rooster side of things, lots of really good scores. I was really particularly happy with Angus. He looks like he's back to his best. But of course, yeah, Terrell May is an issue. Only 24 points. I think he played like 28 to 30 minutes. Yeah, about 28 to 30 minutes. Not great. So I think, yeah, we're going to have... Alright, old mate has gone now on his motorbike. As I was saying, I was so rudely interrupted. Terrell May, what do you get? About 28 to 30 minutes. That's the second week in a row. Just front and forward is such a crappy position that you don't really want to be using too many trades there, but if this is what he's going to be offering up, he's going to be around 500k. It might be time to just move off him. So yeah, we'll have to give a bit of a thought about that, but we'll have to see, of course, how else the rest of the round plays up, because there's not a whole heap of front row forwards at his price, but maybe a Jolla sticks out. AFB is probably the top guy, but he's going to be over 700k now as well, so that's a lot of money that you're going to have to be spending. And my preference would still be, would I rather pay 700k for AFB or 700k for a gun center wing? I'd probably still want to just about lean the center wing, but of course, if your issue is front row forward, then you do have to fix it. So yeah, Terrell May could be a sell next week. If I was looking to upgrade him, then maybe it would be to a Jolliffe, but as I said, I might just keep him next week because I might have other issues in my team I want to deal with. On the Dragon side of things, of course, getting absolutely smashed. Not a lot of big takeaways, I guess, out of them, apart from maybe Lomax. Lomax still looked good in his few opportunities. Got that flick pass, of course, that eventually set up their first try, which was a fantastic try. I think he ended up on 51 points. Look, 51 points in a down game, that probably feels like his floor. So I still think he's going to be a very good option, but me personally, I probably don't think I'll be getting him until at least around round 13, because I want to now see, well, firstly, he's 800k, so he's very expensive. But I also want to see, does he make the Origin squad? Because if he's not going to be available for round 13, then I might not look to prioritize him at that point. But I think if I look at him as a season-long option, back on the wing, yeah, I think he will be someone that we will eventually need to have in our top 4 centers. But obviously a bit of a down game yesterday. So what are we looking at? We're looking at 12 minutes of me rambling about the Anzac Day matches, but hopefully some food for thought for you all. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Hopefully you enjoy the scenery. Just walking around near the bush. The sun is shining, absolutely glorious. We'll have Manly versus Parramatta this evening. I've got the VC on Tom Trbojevic, got Dylan Brown. Who else have I got in that game? Sean Lane. Got a few players playing tonight, but yeah, it's all probably eyes on Tommy Turbo. But hopefully you all enjoy and have a good rest of your Friday.